we caught on the phone.
I remember
He lives in Bayswater.
Well, for me, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not from my
It was a little bit, yeah. No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. You think it's
Sponsored by today's year is sponsored by Smooth. Sure Gold for all your losing. Has anybody get in touch with you? 845.
What's that?
Has anybody get in touch with you?
Hello.
845.
You should know by now.
I don't know it.
regular, no. Very nice. Regular. How's everyone doing? Good? Okay.
Fantastic.
So we're on Chav Zayin Amid Aleph. About 5-6 lines. No, I'm talking about 5-6 lines from the bottom. And the Chazer, V'oid Sha'oloi. This Apotropos, this manager of Agrippa Samelech, asked Rabbi Eliezer another question. V'oid Sha'oloi, he asked him, for example, I have two wives, Achaz b'Teveri v'Achaz b'Tzipori, one in Teveri, one in Tzipori. V'yeshli shtei sukkahs, and I have two sukkahs. Achaz b'Teveri v'Achaz b'Tzipori, one in Teveri, one in Tzipori. Ma'u she'etzei misukkah l'sukkah ve'pater. What's the halacha? Am I allowed to go from one sukkah to another on sukkahs? Eat in one, sleep in the other, spend a full day here, a full day there. And will I pater my chiv? Is that okay? Amar lo, he said to him, lo, no, not allowed to do that. It's a chiddush. Not allowed to. Shani Omer, for I say, kol hayetzei misukkah l'sukkah, anybody who goes out from one sukkah to another one on Yom Tov, bitel mitzvasa shel rishona, not only do you not get the upcoming mitzvahs of being in the sukkah, but you even retroactively do not get the mitzvah of the first days of sukkahs. Chiddush nifla. Tanya, here's the brayso where Rabbi Eliezer said it. Rabbi Eliezer says, ein yotzei misukkah l'sukkah, you're not allowed to go out from one sukkah to another sukkah on Yom Tov. Vein oisen sukkah b'chelo shamoy, you can't make a sukkah on chol hamoed. You can't build a sukkah. Why? Because where were you the first days? You tell me you weren't in a sukkah, you were in a different sukkah? So then what does it help to build a sukkah on chol hamoed? You're not yotzei being in a new sukkah on Yom Tov. You have to be in the same sukkah all 7 days. So you can't build it. The Chachamim say, yotzei misukkah l'sukkah. No, you ought to go different sukkahs on Yom Tov. Go to your parents, your in-laws. What does that mean? Of course you could. And yeah, you come home during the middle of Yom Tov, you can make a sukkah if you need to on Chol Hamoed. Okay? You should have it prepared earlier, but there's a concept of building a sukkah on Chol Hamoed if you need it. So Rabbanan argue with Eliezer completely. But V'shovin, here's where they both agree. Shem naflosh, if it fell, all of a sudden there was like we had on the sukkahs, there was a nor'easter and the whole sukkah fell apart. Shechayzer b'ayna b'chel shamayid. You are allowed to rebuild it on Chol Hamoed. That you could do. Okay, and we'll get back to that case in a second. That is the brayso. This is where we see Rabbi Eliezer's massive chiddush. We're much more comfortable with the Rabbanan because that is how we go. Says the Gemara, this is where we're up to. My time of the Rebbe Eliezer. What is Rebbe? I don't have to ask you my time of the Rabbanan. It's not so hard to understand that. But my time of the Rebbe Eliezer makes no sense. Why would you not be able to switch sukkahs on Yom Tov? Amar Kro, because it says in the pasuk, Chag HaSukkos Taselecha Shivas Yomim. Chag HaSukkos, the Yom Tov of Sukkos, Taselecha, you should make for yourself Shivas Yomim, 7 days. And the drasha on the pasuk is, Asay Sukkah, make a Sukkah, Haruya L'Shiva. Make a Sukkah that's fitting that you could be in it for 7 days and actually live in it for 7 days. This Ru'uya, don't get confused, is not the ru'uya being fit in terms of its durability. We spoke about if there's a wind, ruach mitsuya, any ruach mitsuya. We're not talking about durability. Assuming it has durability. But you want a sukkah that it's roy, that you can live in here and be in there all 7 days. And if you don't live in that sukkah for 7 days, you're not yotzei the mitzvah yeshiva sukkah. It's one big 7-day mitzvah.
What does it mean, right?
Roy over here means a sukkah that you have the ability and you will live for 7 days of sukkahs.
Does the Blue Gemara read then guys tuna on this?
The blue Gemara, there's an aleph there. Yes, some people take out the word ru'ya.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to confuse you, but some people take out the word ru'ya because it's a little bit, it's not so easy. It sounds like more about how durable it is.
Right.
But that's not what it means here. Here it means you need to make a sukkah, like same way you build a house. Nobody builds a house you can't live in for 7 days, right? You build a house you can live in for the next 7 days and you'll live there. So you have to build a sukkah, you can live there, and you will be there, live normally for 7 complete days, and not switch homes, not switch sukkahs.
What does it mean if not durability? What's it talking about?
It means just that you have you will be able to live there the whole Yom Tov. means don't make it in China.
The acres that you do.
It's gonna be near you.
In this part of the Gemara, the acres that you actually do, not that you could.
You mean that you could.
That you actually do stay in 7 days.
Right, you're supposed to
Ruya
make it.
is a real side factor over here.
Right, but you're supposed to make it in a way that's roy for 7, that you could be in it for 7 days. It's roy, and roy means I will be there for 7 days.
Because it's Roy, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm there.
That's why I'm there for 7 complete
Right,
days.
that's
Right?
Right.
Right. So Shmuel is pointing out, will take out the word roy. If it bothers you, take it out.
There's no McCarthy.
Yeah. But over there, that's not right. Here it means something else. Just means a sukkah that I could be in for 7 days, and I will live there for 7 days. V'Rabbanon. What's up with the Rabbanon? I mean, it's not such a kasha on them, but it's. I guess the problem is it says tasa l'chol chaga sukkahs tasa shivas yamim. It's like a sukkah that you make for yourself for 7 days. It sounds like it has to be a 7-day sukkah. You have to be in there for 7 days. So what did the Rabbanon do with this pasuk? V'Rabbanon. The Gemara answers hachi kam rachmana. This is what Rahman means, the merciful one, referring to Hashem. This is what the Torah Hashem is saying. Asay sukkah b'chag. Just push it. Make a sukkah for Yom Tov. You can have multiple sukkahs. It just means have a sukkah for the 7 days of sukkahs. Don't be so busy. A 7-day sukkah that you live in. Relax. Asay sukkah b'chag. Just make a sukkah for the chag. That is all that it means.
Like how we learned that the Rabbanim took that they built something that you could live in for 7 days, but you could go somewhere else.
Right, but it sounds like also it has to be right that I can live in there and I will live in there. I'm gonna live in there. That's what it's like my sukkah for 7 days. That's what you need to have. The same way you have to eat a kazayis of matzah. You can't just have a mashu. The whole mitzvah is like one big 7-day mitzvah. If you don't accomplish that whole thing, I don't think it's one mitzvah. I think it's multiple mitzvahs, but you mess it up if you stop one day. The Rabbanan say, relax. Make a sukkah for the chag. You can make multiple sukkahs. That is the machlokes. Now the Gemara quotes the end of the brisa. V'shav, and they both agree. She'im nafal, if the sukkah fell, she'chayzer u'bayna isa b'chaylo shamayid. That you're allowed to rebuild it on chol hamayid. That's the brisa. Says the Gemara, pshita. Obviously. First of all, the Rabbanim for sure they hold this, because they hold you can make multiple sukkahs. Go to your parents, go to your in-laws. And Rabbi Eliezer, it's the same sukkah, it just broke. Relax. I know Rabbi Eliezer is very into his 7-day sukkah, but we're talking about the same sukkah. There was just a nor'easter, and then you re-put it back up. What of course, Rabbi Eliezer has to tell me, V'shav, and even Rabbi Eliezer agrees, it's pashut. The Gemara says, no, it's not so pashut. Look how weit you might think. Ma'u de tema, you might have thought to say, Hayachrisihi, it's a different sukkah. Ve'ena l'shuva, this is not a sukkah for 7 days. I understand you rebuilt your sukkah, but l'maisa, it's a different sukkah. It's a different sukkah. You rebuilt it, it's a new sukkah, and it's not a sukkah l'shiva. Ve'ena l'shuva means it's not like a sukkah l'shiva. You need a full sukkah for 7 days, you messed it up.
You have to go to a neighbor, what would it to be?
You're done.
You can't use a sukkah?
I hear. I don't know.
If you miss the night one meeting.
I don't know. It's a good question. I know the answer to that question.
What's the guy missed tonight? I don't know. Exactly.
As long as you didn't live somewhere else, maybe that's okay. But if you slept or ate or you had yeshivas, he's not going on a trip. If you're a holchei drachim, I believe Rabbi Eliezer would say you're pater. But you cannot live somewhere else. You can't eat, sleep, if you're just hanging out in the city. But Shmuel Dov is asking a question which I don't know the answer. If you assume this havamina, it broke, and it's Eina L'Shiva. So, what do you want the guy to do? What's the havamina? He's stuck now? It's not his fault. So I'll tell you one possible answer. Just to go a little deeper here. What?
Built it stronger.
He should have built it stronger? Okay, sometimes there's Ruach Shena Mitsuya. Ruach Shena Mitsuya. So I'll tell you maybe one havamina here. When we say it broke and he repaired it, did he repair it with the same material or took new material? Maybe Rabbi Eliezer holds that was not the havamina is the broke, and the achrisi means you went to Home Depot and you got new boards, new wood, new nails. That's the havamina of the Gemara. Maybe that if you take the same materials, that for sure is okay. That for sure. Now there's no havamina. But you want to say it broke. Let me go build a new one. What do you say about that? Maybe that was a havamina of the Gemara. Maybe that's no good.
So building a new one is fine?
So maybe building a new one, even different material, might be fine.
Is that the Kamash one?
And the Kamash one is that, it's okay. Means the havamina, one havamina is if it broke, no matter what, you could have been done. Kamash one, no, it's okay. Another havamina could have been, if it's the same material, that wasn't even a havamina. For sure that's good. The havamina is, if it broke and I went to Home Depot, got new material, do I say, this is a achriti, this is a different sukkah? Kamash shmo, no, it's still okay.
Shechayzer is a little bit schwerer.
Shechayzer, but it sounds like he built the same material. I hear. So we'll leave it as a question, what happens if your sukkah falls down in the havamina? But the kamash shmo is that even if it breaks, Rebbe Eliezer says you still have your sukkah, it's ru'ya l'shiva, and you're good to go. Okay? We move along. Get ready for another interesting Rebbe Eliezer. Rebbe Eliezer has shocked us. Rebbe Eliezer has shocked us, and he continues to shock us. I would say this next Gemara, you're not going to be as shocked. I was very shocked about the other one. You have to live in the sukkah for 7 days? I never heard this before.
Oh, the Rishash has this.
Oh, what's Rishash say?
Different eitzim.
Different eitzim, right?
It's mashma fil bana with makam acher but eitzim acherim.
Even that would be good.
Halal nikoyach kam koasi.
It would still be good. Come on, Shmuel.
Says I'm faceless.
So we have a Gemara. We're going to have another Rebbe Eliezer that's going to shock us with something of a chiddush. So relax, appreciate it. Here we go. Tanya, Brisa. Rebbe Eliezer says, Kishem she'ein adam yetzi yidei chevase b'yamtiv harishayin shalchad bilulave shalchavere. Nachamol. Kishem, the same way. A person is ein adam yetzi chavase. He's not yetzi his chiyuv. B'yamtiv harishayin shalchad on the first day of Sukkot. Bilulave shalchavere with someone else's lulav. This we all know. You're not allowed to take someone else's lulav on the first day of Yom Tov. Tichsiv, because it says in the pasuk, ulekachtem lochem. You should take for yourself. B'yom harishon, on the first day of Sukkot, pre-eitz hadar, a fruit of a tree, hadar, which is beautiful, which means an esrog, and that's a whole, how you know it's an esrog is a whole Gemara, but pre-eitz hadar is an esrog, and kapis tamarim, in the branch of a date palm. Okay, that's the pasuk. Ulekachtem lachem b'yom harishon. You should take for yourself on the first day of Sukkot a pre-eitz hadar, an esrog, kapis tamarim, and a date palm is referring to a lulav, etc. I know it doesn't say etc., but it's etc. And we learn now mishel lachem. It has to be from yours. Mishel lachem. It has to be your own lulav, your own hadassim, your own aravis, your own esrog, because it says ulekachtem lachem. So it says Rebbe Eliezer, the same way the first day of Sukkot you need your own arba minim, kach, so too, ein adam yotze yidei chayvasei b'sukkosei shel chaverei. A person's not yotze his chiyuv in the sukkah of his friend. Tichsiv, because it says in the pasuk, chag ha-sukkah is taseh l'cha shivas yomim. The chag of the sukkah, the Yom Tov of sukkah, taseh l'cha. You should make for yourself shivas yomim for 7 days. Mishalach, from your own. The same way our minim needs to be your own. We're all very into that. You got to buy your own. Give it to your wife. Give it to your kids. Right? Give it to somebody else. You need to own your own arba minim. I'm not referring to 2-day Yom Tov and Chutz La'aretz. Let's just keep it simple. First day of Yom Tov. So the first day of Sukkot, you have to own the sukkah. You're not Yitzah, your sukkah. Sorry, I read it wrong. Not the first day of Sukkot. Every day of Sukkot has to be your own sukkah. So you can't go to your parents and you can't go to your in-laws unless you own the sukkah. Is this a shocker or not such a shocker to you? Does this make sense? Okay, this is not crazy, but it's a chiddush. What about the chachamim? The chachamim say, Af al pi, even though shamru, they say, Ein adam yetze yidei chevase b'yom tov harishon bilulav shachaverei. Even though they say a person is not yetze his chiyuv of arba minim on the first day of Yom Tov with the lulav of his friend. I agree to you about that. Aval yotzi yidei chevase b'sukkasei shel chaverei. You are yotzi your chiyuv with the sukkah of your friend. It doesn't have to be yours. And I'll bring you a proof. The chsiv, it says in the pasuk, Kol ha'ezrach b'Yisrael yeshmu b'sukkos. Kol ha'ezrach, every native, ezrach means a native, every native Jew b'Yisrael, amongst Yisrael, yeshmu b'sukkos, shall live in sukkahs. Malame, this teaches us, shekol Yisrael, the entire Klal Yisrael, ru'uyim leishev b'sukkah achas. It is fitting for them to sit in one sukkah. Because it says, kol ezrach b'Yisrael means ganz Klal Yisrael should dwell in sukkahs. They darshan that really all the Jews together can live in one sukkah. It's like a ribui. All the Jews of Klal Yisrael, they can live in sukkahs. So therefore, as a ribui, teaches you that every single person could live in one sukkah. They could take turns. Every single person in Klal Yisrael could actually be Yitzhak with one sukkah for the entire island. It's possible. That is what the Rabbanan say. Rabbi Eliezer says you need your own sukkah, the same way you need Arba Minim the first day. The entire sukkahs you have to own the sukkah. And the Chacham say, no, Arba Minim I agree, but sukkahs no. How do you know? Because it says, Kol Ezach B'Yisrael, Gans Klal Yisrael, Yeshvu B'Sukkah. It sounds like everyone could be in the same sukkah. So the Gemara asks, the Rabbanan, Hai L'cha, my Darshibe. Rabbi Eliezer is a good tanya. It says, L'cha, it says, Chag HaSukkos Tasa L'cha. You should make for yourself. What do they do with this L'cha? My Darshibe, how do they darshan it? The Gemara answers, Mi Boile, they need it for something else. L'mu'ute, to exclude Gezula, a stolen sukkah. If somebody takes the materials, the guy went to Home Depot, and you went to his house, you stole his material, and you built a sukkah, that sukkah you're not Yetzah. Has to be yours, and it can't be Gzela. Avol Shu'ula, but to borrow a sukkah. Ksiv, it says in the puzzle, Kol Ezrach, all the Klal Yisrael. Means I have a Ribui Kol Ezrach, which is Marba, you don't have to own it. You're asking me what you do with L'cha? I'll tell you what to do with L'cha. To tell you it can't be stolen, but I'm not a borrower, I'm not going to go to my in-laws, I'm not going to my parents. I could borrow my friend's sukkah. So I could take care of your L'cha, and I could take care of my Kol Ezrach B'Yisrael. It's Marba Shu'ula, borrowed. I just can't be in a stolen sukkah. So the Gemara jumps back to Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer, hi Kol Ezrach, my Abelay. What does Rabbi Eliezer do with this Kol Ezrach? It sounds like Gans, all natives of Yisrael could live in a sukkah. It sounds like everyone could be in the same sukkah. What does he do with it? Mi Boile, he needs it for something else. To teach you, Leger Shenizgayer Benetayim, the Koton Shenizgado Benetayim. Let's say someone becomes a ger on sukkahs, Cholamayit sukkahs. Or if a katan, a kid, becomes bar mitzvah, becomes a gadol on sukkahs during Cholamayit. So what about him? What's the story with him? He was not Yitzei the earlier days of sukkahs. He was a guy, or he was a kid. Could he still be Yitzei sukkah according to Rabbi Eliezer? Right? This is going back to the other Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer holds you have to be in the sukkah all 7 days. But let's say you became a Jew during Cholamayit. Or let's say you're cut, you became bar mitzvah cholamayit. So says Rabbi Eliezer, Kol Ezach B'Yisrael is coming to include, if you were never mechuyev before, and now you became mechuyev on sukkahs, then you could live in the sukkah even for 3 or 2, whatever, 2 days, 3 days, and still be Yetzir Chiyev. It's only a full-fledged Jew who has to live in the sukkah all 7 days. But if you became a ger on sukkahs, or you became a gadol on sukkahs, and there's 4 or 5 days left, that's okay. So it's being marba. It's not like you're not Yitzhak the first days when you could have lived in the sukkah and you didn't. Over here, he didn't have the ability. He wasn't mechuyev in the sukkah. So therefore, he's able to live whatever days he has left. That's a Kol Ezach B'Yisrael comes to be marba. For Rabbanan. How do the Rabbanan know that if someone becomes a ger on sukkahs or a katan, that he's able to chaperah in the last couple of days of yeshiva sukkah? The Gemara answers, Kivin sha'amru eisin sukkah b'chil shamayid. Since the Rabbanan shita is that they say, is that you can make a sukkah on Chol HaMoed. They don't hold you have to be there all 7 days. You can live in multiple different sukkahs. You can even build a sukkah on Chol HaMoed if you didn't live one on the first days. Lo Yitzchak, they don't need a pasuk. I don't need a pasuk to tell me if a kid's bar mitzvah on Chol HaMoed, he could get his last couple of days of yeshiva sukkah. They hold every day you will be in a sukkah, be in any sukkah you want. There's no Indian of a 7-day sukkah. So we end the Gemara over there. We just to summarize, it's a little bit intertwined, the drashas. But we started off Rabbi Eliezer's idea, and we chazed out a little bit of that a sukkah has to be, you have to be there 7 full days. If not, you're out. You lost out the mitzvah. Unless you're a katan who became bar mitzvah on Chol HaMoed sukkahs, or you became a ger. So then, it wasn't the chasarn that you weren't there the last couple of days. You weren't mechuyev. So chaperah in the next couple of days. And the Rabbanan say, no, it could be in any sukkah, multiple sukkahs. Every day of sukkahs is its own thing. Every time you go into the sukkah, it's its own mitzvah. There's no Indian of 7 days. And they also hold, it doesn't have to be yours. It doesn't have to be yours. Another drasha they hold, it can be in any sukkah you want. It's not only a lulav has to be yours, not a sukkah. It can't be stolen, but it can be borrowed. And the Rebbe Lezer holds, no, it can't be borrowed, it can't be stolen, it has to be yours. Stop here.
Everyone need to have their own sukkah.
So just to add on one thing, which is a very good point. Very good point. Very important question.